Miami Sports always from two homies in Miami.
What is going on, guys? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be listening. We are back, the Sport Spectator Podcast, episode 30, the Steph Curry episode. John, we are officially 30 years old, baby. We made it onto the third floor.
30 years old and wet like Steph Curry.
Dude, absolutely. All we're doing is just been making buckets recently.
Pause, no Diddy.
Pause, no Diddy. And speaking of which, just because this has been trending, I want to make it very clear out there that any images showing myself or John at any P. Diddy party are very much edited. We have never attended a P. Diddy party. We have never so much received as an invitation, but I want to make it very clear that we would very much decline that invitation. So any edits you see out there of us at said parties have been either manipulated by artificial intelligence or were edited otherwise. I want to make that very clear.
I would also like to add in, if you see any of Stormy, that is also AI generated.
Especially Stormy is a saint. And anyone who says otherwise is just might as well be the Antichrist, in my opinion. Yeah. Anyone who says anything
of Satan.
Absolutely. So just want to throw that very, very much out there. All right. But John, Steph Curry episode. I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm having my Michael Jordan flu game, but we're fucking back, bro. But you know who's not back? The Dolphins. Because we are 1-2, John. I'm panicking. I'm feeling scared, bro. Please make me feel better. What do we think?
I'll make you feel better. No need to panic because the season's already over. Or it's not. So there's no need to panic because there's no anxiety. The season's already completely done, or there's a little bit of chance, but a little bit of chance is so little that don't even panic about it. It's not worth stressing about. You know what I mean?
Interesting. That sounds like my strategy of when I used to go to college bars. That was always my strategy. It's just like, it's not over because it never began, to begin with. So how did you ever fail if you never started? But if you succeeded, then it was already underway.
Wow. That was excellent correlation.
Yeah. In those days, I was not very successful, so that doesn't make me feel very hopeful about the Dolphins. Bro, we're injured. Tua's out for God knows how long. He's out there going to like Disney on Ice, which we're going to talk about some of that in just a little bit. He's still traveling with the team, which we're also going to talk about in a little bit. But bro, Skylar Thompson, our current QB1, the guy has a 4.9 QBR. John, can you guess what your quarterback rating would be if you literally took a knee every single game?
0?
No, it would be 37.4.
Wow.
So a quarterback literally taking a knee every single play would have a higher quarterback rating than Skylar Thompson currently has. I don't know, dude. I'm panicking. We need to start Tyler Huntley. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know if we're tanking. I don't know what's going on, but I'm scared. All right. And I am not feeling hopeful as a Dolphins fan. And you know what? We said it on this podcast. I was not convincing myself that this season was going to be different. But man, they just found more ways to make it disappointing. On the bright side, Devon Achane is a stud. Arguably the best running back in the league. He's like that meme.
But yeah.
Yeah, he's like that meme of like the Maserati and like the crack house. That's really what he is. Okay, he seems to be our only bright spot. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek, apparently, if they don't have a fucking Alabama QB top five first round pick in the draft under center, those guys just disappear. So I don't know what those guys are doing. Our supposed WR3 Braxton Berrios, guess how many receptions and yardage he has this season, John? Just take a guess.
13.
0. He has 0. All right. I mean, he has the same amount of receptions, yardage, and touchdowns that you and I have. And we're not even on the team. How
just like me for real. Just like me for real.
He dead ass. He just like me for real, bro. Like, so I don't know, dude. The injuries are already piling up. Like Terran Armstead was already out like after the first game. Our O-line again kind of sucks. So I don't know, dude. I'm panicking.
Dude, Tyler Huntley is going to either be great or the season's over. You just have to accept it. It's either Tyler Huntley's great or the season's over. So, hey, at least you don't have to get your hopes up. It might already be over. I think everyone should just accept that fact that it might already be over.
I mean, are we pessimistic enough to start talking about like a tank?
Oh yeah.
Are we having that conversation yet where we can start talking about tanking and like what is a quarterback that we can get in the draft?
I don't like the concept of tanking, But I think it's acceptable to say that this season, like, we don't make the playoffs and it's not even close. Yeah.
Listen, all I'm hoping is one thing, because I've been in this abusive relationship with Stephen Ross and company for enough time to know that I just don't want this team to finish in the middle of the pack, because we're very consistent in always finishing mediocre enough to never get like a high enough draft pick to make an impact in the next season. But obviously you don't win enough to actually do anything that season. It's just always this like in between absolute mediocrity. So that's my only wish. So either,
I think that's real. I think there's a good chance that if it's all over, if Tyler Huntley is not the answer and he doesn't save us, that we finish in last place in underneath the Pats, underneath the Jets, underneath the Bills in our division.
I would very much, except that shit, dude. My expectations were low, but a shout out to the Miami Dolphins for just finding ways to just make it even worse.
Imagine in like, what is it? Like, let's say week 14 and the Dolphins have maybe like 2 or 3 wins, and the interviews that Mike McDaniel will give to the press. They're weird when we're like on top of the world and like in the beginning of the season. I just imagine how bad they'll be when like he's won 3 of 13 games.
Dude, I mean, he's just gonna
rip. They can't fire him, right?
No, he's locked in until the until the 2028 season.
Mike McDaniel's locked in, all right.
Oh, he's locked into something. Creating this dynamic offense is not one of those things, but he's locked in on something, bro. I don't know what it is.
Why did they think it was a good idea with Tua Tagovailoa to have Skylar Thompson as QB2? I just don't understand that. I mean, is it just like a confidence thing where it's like, hey, don't put anyone in Tua's radius that would intimidate him for competition, so that he just feels like we have it, and if he gets hurt, we're absolutely and completely and totally fucked.
Dude, I don't know. And we talked about that a lot on this podcast, that like we needed to bring a competitor. So I was very much legitimately surprised when during the offseason we let Mike White go, because he was a much more solid QB2. So for the Dolphins to let him go and keep Skylar Thompson.
Supposedly, so I heard a story about that. Supposedly it's because, quote, Skylar Thompson commanded the team better as opposed to Mike White. So I don't think it was even like a skill factor as much as it was just vibes. Literally, I would imagine Mike McDaniel just smoking a blunt and was like, you know what? This is what's going to be the right decision. He's got the vibes I'm looking for. Mike White, get out. Honestly, though, even if we had Mike White, I think we'd be in the same spot. We'd be like, why the fuck is Mike White our QB2? I don't know.
Dude, I don't know. It's just depressing, man. Like, I miss Ryan Tannehill, honestly. I took him for granted, but you know what? He was a serviceable QB1, yeah. And I would even argue that if we had Ryan Tannehill with this offense, we would be looking a lot sharper, because Tannehill at the very least was consistent. He wasn't like super injury prone. He was a dog, all right? This is a formal apology to Ryan Tannehill and all of his family. Ryan Tannehill, I blocked you on Instagram out of anger when we traded you, but I miss you, man. And all the shitty things that I ever said, I even think I still used Facebook at the time. Whatever things I said about you, bro, I take back. I would take back Tannehill in a heartbeat.
That should be a carousel post we do, where we dig up your old Facebook statuses where you're just probably verbally harassing Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, dude. So I apologize if those ever resurface, but I don't want to contradict myself, because Tua still has my vote of confidence. I mean, if anything, the season so far has shown me that he's really the only one that has the keys to the vehicle. Okay, no one else knows how to drive this offense.
I don't know if that's a good thing, dude.
Yeah. I know,
no, but you're right. You're spot on, dude. He is the only one with it, and that it kind of like goes into the side of like, we're fucked. Like,
yeah. So, but if I was giving some options, and I know that ideally I would like a draft pick instead. Ryan Tannehill, I would make an exception for him. Actually, I would be fine with that, but
I'm not fine with that. You can count me out of that lobbying. I do not want Ryan Tannehill. I'm all in with Tyler Huntley. If it doesn't work with Tyler Huntley, I think we're cooked. Because then what? You're going to get another quarterback to come in. I mean, it's fucked.
This is true, dude.
I hate Bryce Young takes. I don't like that. He's already cooked. We don't need another respectfully emotional Alabama quarterback. We don't need Mac Jones, another emotionally distressed Alabama quarterback. Who besides Ryan Tannehill, pick someone else. I'll throw out an example, like Zach Wilson, yes or no?
No. I would take, all right, very, very scorching hot take. I would take Matt Moore, actually.
I know the name, but I don't even know who he is.
So he has a Super Bowl ring. I mean, granted, he won it as a backup to the Chiefs, but he did play for the Dolphins. So he's sort of, I mean, he was around during the Adam Gase era. So
bro, he's 40 years old,
but he could ball. He was a baller,
bro.
Actually,
yeah.
Actually, all right. Here's someone I would take.
Dude, give me Alex Smith with his disgusting leg over Matt Moore.
This is who I would take. I would take Trey Lance.
No.
I would be okay with that option.
Dude, count me out of all of your. If you walk around with like trying to get signatures, don't include me in that.
This is definitely a point where we very much disagree, John, and I'm going to embrace debate because you're all about big Penix energy. You know, Michael Penix Jr. That's what you want. All right. And that's, for me, we're going from Tua, who had, he got injured in college. Another guy who also got injured coming out of college. Like, I don't think Penix is the answer either. And that seems to be the two guys.
I mean, Tua got his hip ripped out of his ligaments as his college injury, but Michael Penix didn't have it that bad. Dude, the reason why I say no to Trey Lance, and I would probably agree with you if I wasn't a Dallas Cowboys fan, but the Dallas Cowboys took Trey Lance and he fucking sucks. He's not good. There's a reason why the 49ers said, actually, we're willing to take this L. Please leave for anything.
But have you considered the fact that, one, Mike McDaniel still was on the 49ers team when Trey Lance was there.
Okay, I like it.
Have you also considered the fact that Mike McCarthy, your precious Cowboys head coach, is also just not that bright and cannot develop a young quarterback?
So you're saying Mike McDaniel's smarter than McCarthy. Honestly, that's a good that should be a question on like the next in the November presidential campaign. Who is the more intelligent human being?
that should just give you the right to vote. Like, you have to answer that correctly. Like, otherwise, if you pick Mike McCarthy, it's just like, yeah, sorry, buddy, you can't vote this go around. Try again next 4 years.
So Trey Lance, I mean, we could get him for cheap. The Cowboys are like, yo, what the fuck did we just get? So, I mean, that's interesting. I don't know. Who else would you say? Obviously, I'm Michael Penix Jr. I think besides Michael Penix Jr., if I had to pick one person, I would say.
All right. I got another one for you.
Who?
I would also take Tommy DeVito, baby.
I actually like that too. I do like that. That could be cool. I mean, he would suck. That would be the end of our season. But I do like it.
Dude, I don't know, bro. He kind of lit it up, and like he lit it up in a shit tier Giants offense, and the Dolphins on paper are significantly better than the Giants were last year. So I would be okay with that.
Yeah, dude, he might be playing for the Giants soon. I mean, Daniel Jones sucks.
Yeah, he's cheeks wrapped in ass and like just absolutely drenched in like booty. He's bad, but if you're gonna pay a guy that much money, you got to unfortunately start him consistently. But those are my two hot takes. If I was, and again, I want to make it very explicit. This is assuming that Tua stays injured, because if he's healthy enough to go, like, I need him under center because he's the only one that knows how to get shit done, unfortunately, whatever quarrels I may have with him. But assuming he does not come back, that is my hot take. Either Tommy DeVito or Trey Lance. I would take either of those guys.
I mean, supposedly Tua can come back on week 8 versus Arizona. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 4 games from now. So we could very, very realistically and hypothetically start the season 0-6. And then he comes back. And then do we win out with him? I'm going to say no.
Yeah, dude. Like, any way we spin this, we're just like so fucked. But Speaking
We
of
actually
Tua's
don't have a
injury,
hard schedule though. It's not too bad, but yeah,
it's it's the NFL, bro. Like it's always going to be a
it's the
hard
NFL.
schedule, regardless. Like this season has proven. I mean, just look at this weekend. Like the Bucks lost to Denver. Panthers won their first game with Andy Dalton. The Packers somehow have not one but two franchise quarterbacks with Jordan Love and Malik Willis. I don't know, dude. Like this is obviously a league where anything can happen. So
This league.
I don't know. Yeah, this league, bro. It's intense. So I don't know, dude. Like what limb do I have to sacrifice? Like what do I need to do in order to make the Dolphins be good? I don't know, dude.
Give me your best case scenario and worst case scenario record. 18 game season. We're currently 1-3. Sorry, we're currently 1-2.
I think best case scenario is honestly, my best case scenario is just simply that we finish bottom of the pack and we just get a high draft pick.
Wow, you've officially bought into the throw the towel don't panic.
The more I think about it, the more I'm like, okay, realistically, what's going to happen? Like if Tua comes back and let's say we just squeak into a wild card round, what's going to happen?
Smoked as usual.
We're going to get fucking smoked, and then we're just going to end middle of the pack again, and then what? My ideal scenario in an unrealistic world is obviously like Tua gains like X-Men superpowers from the number of concussions he has, and he just comes back and just fucking balls out and just suddenly becomes like the best quarterback in the league. And then obviously we make a run in the playoffs. That's obviously not going to happen. So I have to be realistic with myself and just kind of hope we tank. And ideally he chooses to retire so that he doesn't have to be paid the $124 million that he's owed. We keep that cap space, and then we can just look forward. We can part ways mutually and just wish Tua well. Let him spend time with his family. He's already made like millions, so it's like, come on, bro. Those are my two ideal scenarios.
Sacrifice his brain. Come on, bro. Come on, let's make a deal, bro.
Dude, but
let's negotiate.
Speaking of his injury, it's what is even going on there? And I think there's something that the Dolphins aren't telling us, because how did this guy get cleared to travel to the West Coast this past week against Seattle? And also this guy was apparently like going to Disney. He went to like Disney on Ice. He went to like Mickey Mouse's Not So Scary Halloween. Okay. What the fuck is going on? Because that is not you should not be allowed to do those things if you're in concussion protocol.
No Disney World on concussion protocol.
Yeah, like I felt it's very weird that that's like a statement that I should need to make officially on this podcast. But yes, like no Disney World when you're suffering from a concussion. That's so here's my theory, okay? I think they're keeping him on IR for, just to kind of as a show of good faith. But I honestly think that Stephen Ross is going to like throw him out to the Lions when he's healthy enough to return. And he's probably going to tell his O-line, just be like, yo, just let Tua die. So that Tua is literally forced into retirement.
You think Stephen Ross is a dog like that?
100%, bro. 100%. Yeah, dude. Like, if I'm on the hook for $124 million and I got to just make a sacrificial lamb out of you so that I don't have to pay that paycheck, why wouldn't I do it otherwise? Okay? So there's a lot of sketchiness going on. Like, I don't know if he's actually injured or, like, what is happening. I don't know. Maybe Tua is, like, there's an image floating out there of him at a Diddy party. Okay? But
can you imagine? Oh, my gosh. I hope for everyone's sake that's not true. I think Christianity would fail.
Oh my god, dude, that would be the worst. So something's going on there that they're not telling us. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. I think they're taking precaution. I do think Tua should go to Disney World with his family and try to connect his fibers in his brain to family and love and compassion. But
he shouldn't be traveling. Like, why would you take a plane?
I mean, he's not a vegetable. He's not, like, bedridden.
But he literally got injured a week ago. Like, how is he all of a sudden cleared to do all of those things? Like, he should be doing physical therapy. Like, yo, take a cold plunge or something. Like,
Dude, so I saw someone on Twitter made a post about how when he throws a ball, his like fascia like makes the fencing motion. You know how
Oh, I
he's like,
saw that.
so it's like, oh, maybe he's just throwing a football on his concussion, and he's not really that concussed at all.
I saw that too, but I mean, he's been doing that since his Alabama days. Like you look at screenshots of when he used to throw the football. Yeah, he had that like because he throws with a lefty and he throws like this, and he's like,
So
hey,
what if the brain scans?
Watching him throw.
What if the brain scans just reveal that there's no concussion at all? It's just what we talked about in our group chat, where he's just visiting his elders of, the Polynesian ancestors and just communicating with them, being like, hey, what's going on? I think that might be what it is.
That could be it.
And in that case, we're back.
Are we, John? Are we actually back? I'm usually all for saying that we're back, but
we're gonna run a triple option wildcat with Tua, A-Chain, and Tyler Huntley. That's what Mike McDaniel's working on right now.
Man, I don't know who let bro cook, but John, I appreciate you trying to make me feel a little bit more optimistic, but no, it's Tyler Huntley is my last hope. Like supposedly he's very Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So maybe Mike McDaniel can do something with this. I just need Skylar Thompson off the fields.
I mean, he might be injured for the season. He might have broken ribs or something.
Dude,
or
I don't know, man. It was very pathetic to watch him play football. And I was a little bit hype. I'm like, hey, he's making claims that he can function under the Mike McDaniel system. It's like, no, you couldn't, bro. We all saw it. You couldn't. All right. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions needing answers from the Miami Dolphins. What's going on with Tua's injury? Because I feel like there's some sketchy shit going on. Are we starting Tyler Huntley? Are we tanking? I don't know what's going on, dude. But
if they don't start Tyler Huntley, I'm gonna riot. I'm gonna start a protest at the Hard Rock.
Easily.
I'm not gonna pick the organization or the cause, but it's gonna be an intense one. It's gonna be passionate, and I'm gonna draw a crowd.
I'm about it. I will be joining you there. Okay? But all right, so looking ahead at our next game, Monday Night Football at home against the Tennessee Titans. All right, John, this is Battle of Mid. Both teams are going to be so cheeks. I feel like they should actually show that game not on ESPN, but on like Tubi or like Pluto. Those like free streaming or like Comedy Central. Because this is going to be a joke. All right? Like,
we could win this game. We could win this game.
Dude, I don't know, bro. We're going to look so cheeks. And, like, the Titans obviously are so cheeks. Will Levis absolutely sucks. And I hated that guy when he played at Kentucky. So I was never a big fan. But they're probably going to beat us, if I'm being honest. The books say that they're the favorite to win.
Really? What is the line?
-1 for the Titans.
Ooh. And an over-under of 36.5.
Oh, my God, 36.5.
Dude, if you're Calvin Ridley, what are you betting on this game?
Dude, whoever we start at quarterback, whatever the under for passing yards is in that game, that's what I'm betting. Like, whoever the Dolphins are starting at quarterback, like, whether it's Skylar, especially if it's Skylar Thompson, I'm taking the under.
Skylar Thompson, he's in and he's out. He respectfully, he sounds like a great guy. Your NFL career peaked at that start, and it's over. Respectfully,
it's tough, dude, but it's a tough league nowadays, man. Because quarterbacks, I also feel for him because quarterbacks don't get the chance to develop like they used to. I mean, you're putting these.
He got the chance to develop, man. He was there for 2-3 seasons as a backup.
Last season was season. What are you talking about?
Whatever, 2 seasons. He played a little bit last season. It's not working out, man. Like, it's not working out. Sorry.
Yeah, dude. So that's all I know. If I'm Calvin Ridley, I'm smashing the under on the points. I'm smashing the passing yards, probably on both teams. Like I'm smashing the under. The only over I would probably take would be the rushing yards on A-Chain. That's probably
I like that.
Yeah. Our defense, I will say our defense has been really good. Our linebackers.
They've been competitive. Yeah.
They've been good. So I would probably bet the defense to score or at the very least have take the over on the sacks, maybe.
Sacks and interceptions.
Yeah. but I am not hopeful for our offense. Tyreek Hill, I would take the under on the passing yards. Everyone. So I don't know, dude. That's going to be a fucking stinker. So we'll see how that goes.
Dude, the Buffalo Bills are cooking. Second quarter, 4 minutes left. They already have 20 points, 20-3.
Jesus Christ. The Jets are good. The Bills are good. The Pats looked competitive.
I mean, they're definitely better than us right now.
Yeah, well,
we both suck, but
I actually think that if the Dolphins played the Texas Longhorns, the Texas Longhorns would probably have a chance.
One day, I hope we'll get to see that hypothesis play out with like the worst NFL team versus the best college team.
You know, that actually used to occur historically. That used to be a thing.
Really?
Yeah. I read that somewhere, but some, I don't know, 60, 70 years ago. I mean, this is some boomer shit that I'm saying, but my understanding is at one point that actually was a thing where the worst professional football team would go against the best college football team. There wasn't any relegation or anything. It was literally just for fun. But that was an event that used to happen. So fun fact for you there, John.
Fun fact.
Yeah. And they honestly should bring it back. Because a lot of these quarterbacks and a lot of these teams feel that just because they're in the league and there's no chance of being relegated, they sit way too comfy.
Okay, get relegated back to college.
Yeah, exactly. Like, depending how
now an educational institution.
Yeah, like I would say, like, if you lose, like if you come in, if you do bad enough in the NFL, you should be relegated to the Pac-12. Like, that's all I got to say. Like, I don't know, bring the Longhorns, bring the Georgia Bulldogs into the NFL, and then like relegate the Dolphins into college football.
New Miami Hurricanes rivalry.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, tank for Cam Ward. Let's do it.
Dude, you beat me to my next topic. At the very least, well, actually, not good for me, but it is cool to see because I do appreciate an actual contending football team. But dude, Cam Ward might actually be fucking him. Like,
yeah.
Apparently the Hurricanes in their first 4 games, it's been the most amount of points that they've scored, I don't know, in like how many years. But
I think their national championship year. Their last national championship.
Potentially.
Cam Ward's a stud. It's him versus Hunter, what's his name?
Travis Hunter?
Travis Hunter, yeah, I think. As long as they both stay healthy. Knock on wood.
Yeah. He's looking elite, man, and that would definitely be a pick that I would not be upset with. I mean,
I would love that, dude.
I would love that pick.
There's a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft, which is going to be cool. Like Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe. I mean, dude, objective.
I'm no longer sold on Alabama quarterbacks, John. I'm sorry. Like,
it's fair.
Like, let's check in. Let's check in on all the recent Alabama quarterbacks. Mac Jones, backup. Tua, borderline dead. Jalen Hurts, thrown the most interceptions of any quarterback since the start of last season. Bryce Young, benched.
Dude, going back to who we bring in, AJ McCarron. He's the one Alabama quarterback I want to Miami. Gunslinger.
He was. King. I mean, AJ McCarron was pretty elite, but
he was good.
Yeah,
I don't understand why he's not getting more chances because he played good with the Bengals.
He's when he had to fill in.
I mean, he's 32, 33.
Yeah, that's pretty old for a quarterback. No, I need a break from the Alabama quarterbacks for a while.
Fair.
That's all I know. But man. Assuming we tank, I would be all in on Cam Ward or like Quinn Ewers. Those would be my 2 top picks.
What about Shooter Sanders?
No. Shedeur Sanders? Absolutely not.
Excuse me, Shedeur.
No way, bro. That guy is...
I'd be down. I mean, I prefer Cam Ward, but like I'm down. Jackson Dart I like a lot from Ole Miss.
Maybe. But no. Quinn Ewers or Cam Ward would be at the top of my wish list.
Yeah.
Yeah. For anything less than that, I'd say it's like, let's just keep Tua. Like, either he dies on the field or he balls out. Like, there's not going to be any in between.
Speaking of, going back to Miami, so they have Friday Night Lights here in versus Virginia Tech. Where are you going to be? You're going to be in Orlando. Are you going to Disney World, Juan?
I am not going to Disney World. Actually, no, wait. I am going to Disney World. What am I talking about? Yeah, we're going to Epcot. We're doing drinking around the world.
Are you going with?
No, because I know better, and I know that he's concussed. So I would not send him an invite to this trip because again, I know better.
Okay, just checking.
But yeah, that game's going to be late. Are you going, John?
I think so. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go.
Fire.
That's cool. That's cool. Like Friday night game. Like I don't think I've ever been to a Friday night college game.
I think I actually did one time when actually played North Carolina. Or sorry, when they played Duke. This was actually when Daniel Jones was still playing at Duke.
Wow.
So that was cool to see.
That is cool.
And I think it was on a Friday. So
shout out to Rebecca Black.
Did you happen to see a clip that she was playing a set at some I guess really famous spot in like Washington D.C. It was called the Boiler Room, but it's been trending, and I never thought I'd say this, but I would definitely go see Rebecca Black play a set.
Yo, that's great! I did not see this at all.
Yeah.
Wow. What? Wow. Multiple fun facts today. Thank you for all of them.
Multiple. There you go.
Full circle. Wow. Anyway, what else do we close this episode out? Do we wait to see what our future holds for us in this coming week?
I think so, but we'll conclude the episode by saying next 2 episodes we have 2 very exciting guests coming up. So be sure that you stick around for more information on that. Next Monday, September 30th. The Monday after that, October 7th, we will be having 2 very, very special guests. And we will be back with episode 31 next week.
Peace out, homies.
Later, guys.